here we are with my dear Betty Barr. I'm so happy to finally have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Last time when we actually talked together, I was looking at you. I couldn't help to think how much of actually common things we have. First of all, obviously, we look very Western from outside, but both of us lived in China long enough to have this really deep attachment to China and Shanghai. We both love music, and we both of us have very interesting Chinese names.
That's right.
In my case, it is Ma Xingxing.
Mm-hmm.
In your case, it's Bai Li Shi.
That's right.
So I would like to know what's the background story of your Chinese name.
Well, actually, I think it's quite an interesting story because it was given to me by an Englishman,
Oh, really?
not a Chinese person. But this Englishman had lived in China a long time and was a scholar of Chinese.
Wow.
Yeah, so he chose this name. The Bai comes from my surname Barr.
Ah, Bar.
Barr, yes.
Bai.
But the Li Shi comes from a beautiful poem. I mean, it means beautiful poem. It comes from the sound because my English name is Elizabeth.
Ah, I
So it's
see.
Liz.
So you grew up in Shanghai in 1930s. These are the times that most of us see only in black and white photos. I'm wondering, how did Shanghai feel like, smell like, look like?
Well, it was very, very different from now. I grew up in Hongkou, not in the former French concession
So
or
everybody
even the
thinks, yeah.
international settlement, because my father was teaching in a missionary school, and this missionary school was in Hongkou. When I was a very small child, it was a very poor district of Shanghai where we lived.
The Shanghai boy and Shanghai girl. Obviously, we know who is the Shanghai girl, but for people who doesn't know who is Shanghai boy, can you tell us?
He is George Wang, that's his English name, which he chose on the spur of the moment when somebody asked him, "What's your English name?"
He just
And
said
he
George.
had heard about George Washington,
Ah.
Wang Zhengwen in Chinese. When I first met him, he was the husband of a former colleague of mine, a British woman. We often joke almost every day about the fact I'm his second British wife.
I love it.
So they were married happily for 33 years. They were very kind to me when I came in the 70s. So then sadly, she died in 83. And George, of course, wrote to tell me. And of course, I wrote back to give him his sympathy, give him my sympathy. And then somehow, through correspondence, from Shanghai to Scotland, we fell in love in our 50s.
That's good.
So I came to marry him.
Oh, okay. The Shanghai boy, lucky boy. So this book is about love and memory of you both growing up in Shanghai and coming from different backgrounds. In this world, there's real love is really rare. What do you think the real love is?
Very difficult to describe. I think I said in the book, I found myself wandering around a shop in spring fever, although it was autumn. And more or less that was it.
I want to talk about your times at SISU, Shanghai International Studies University.
That's right.
I got it right.
Yeah, you did.
So you first started teaching there in 70s,
That's right.
and then you came back in 80s, and you taught until 2002. That's a long time. Back to that very first time when you entered to the classroom full of Chinese students that they were about to explore English. Do you remember that moment?
Well, they were not about to, because they were teachers of English from remote areas of China. Yeah, I was very privileged to be part of a British Council national project trying to upgrade the teaching of English in remote areas of China. So my students were not from Shanghai, they were from Northwest. And then I actually suggested that we do a follow-up research so that I could travel.
Follow-up research, I
Not
love it.
really. And so George accompanied me on many of my visit follow-up
Follow-up
research.
research.
Yes, very, very interesting. To Xinjiang and Gansu, Ningxia.
Because I can imagine back then, even though they were kind of trained students already, but English was still kind of rare and special
Oh,
those
yes.
times. When you were teaching English back then, it wasn't just about the grammar, it was about opening windows. What were your students most curious about? Did you feel like you are sort of showing them more of what's happening outside rather than just only teaching grammar?
Yes, that's right. I can remember one teacher, actually, this particular teacher was a Shanghai teacher, and he asked me to draw on the blackboard a typical high street, shopping street in Scotland. That's my father was from Scotland. So, and that struck me because they had no idea about the everyday life in the West, just as people in the West have no idea about everyday life in China.
I've seen Shanghai changing more than anybody else, probably I personally know. Are there still places in Shanghai that if you want to have a nostalgia, you go back?
When I was about 10, we lived on Yuyuan Road.
Ah, okay.
So I've heard, I don't go there often now because I live in Hong Kong, but I've heard it's becoming very trendy.
It is very trendy,
Yeah.
full of coffee shops,
Yes,
restaurants, all kind of
yeah,
entertainment. Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up on Yuan Road.
Yes,
Oh.
and I don't know if you know near the corner of on the corner of Yuyuan Road and Urumqi Road. Do you know what building stands there?
Yuan Lu, Ulongwuqi
Urumqi Lu.
Probably people who
Maybe
are
right.
watching this, they're
Yes,
like, we
that's
knew
right.
it.
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
fire station.
Ah. Oh, actually, true. Now I remember. It's still there.
Yes,
It's still there.
exactly.
That's true. Okay.
So it's a landmark of my childhood.
Oh, I see. So
Yes.
that fire station was still there back then.
Yes, near the fire station, not far from Urumqi Road, there are two quite large buildings, which are now a school. I think it's called Shishi High School. Or
Oh, very beautiful Western
Yes.
style buildings,
Yes,
right? Oh,
yes.
they are still there.
Yeah, that's my primary school.
I see. It's still
Yes,
there.
it was run by the Shanghai Municipal Council
Ah,
that
okay.
run the affairs of the city. So I went there several years.
These days, so many of us live far from where we were born, generally in the world, like because of the work, studies, life circumstances, we move. So the idea of home became something quite complex. Even me, I was born in Armenia. I spent half of my life now in China. So your story really stayed with me in terms of you were born in China, educated in America, you hold British passport, yet you call Shanghai your home. So I'm wondering, after this life history, what does home mean to you?
Again, like love, it's very it's very difficult to describe. Home is where the heart is. It's where you feel at home. I think one part of it is the people, because Shanghai people, I think are I don't know what other people think, but I think they are very special, and I like them. And I try to be. I don't try to, but I think I
You're
am.
already the Shanghai girl. What do you think makes them special?
I think it's because of the international background. One thing that George and I have in common.
They say Shanghainese is more like if you compare like New Yorkers, Londoners.
Yes.
You carry a certain kind of pride when
That's
you are
right.
from this.
Yes, yes.
But I do believe foreigners as well. Like a lot of Shanghai foreigners kind of feel as Shanghairen themselves. You carry different kind of identity. You've experienced war, you experienced loss, you experienced transformation, so many changes, but yet you carry yourself with so much grace, fun, positivity. From outside, it would look like you have unlocked the secret of being happy and staying positive. So, what is or what was your secret to keep going forward? Doesn't matter what.
Difficult to say. I think it's because I have been lucky in my life. George and I stayed to each other almost every day. we are lucky. We are lucky both to be in our 90s and still alive. I'm usually, not entirely, but usually a very happy person. So I think that's what keeps me going. Music is a big part of my life. And so all kinds of music go through my brain. Sometimes it's Christmas carols. Sometimes it's Scottish songs, because although Shanghai's my home, I feel Scottish. My very wise father said to me that I had gone to college in America and I didn't feel American. And so I wanted to go to London, I thought, and then be trained as a teacher. But my very wise father said, well, why not try Scotland? And I've always been grateful to him because I feel Scottish, although Shanghai's my home.
That's an interesting thing about Shanghai. Also, it's not really taking away your origin background.
No.
It lets you be who you are,
That's right.
but at the same time becoming kind of equally important in your life. I find that it's very different from other cities in the world. Sometimes those cities can take you like with your identity, background, values, but Shanghai itself is very peacefully making you to have carry both identities at the same time.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about if your life story or your China experience was one song, which song would that be?
Always.
Always. By who?
I don't know who it's by. You don't know the song Always? I'll be loving you always. I can't sing it. Oh, da 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 da. Always. May our love be true. Always. You don't know it?
No,
No,
I
it's such
need
an
to.
old song.
No. Maybe I'm not informed. Oh, always. That's why do you like that song though? The lyrics, the
Well,
music.
then one verse says, days may not be fair, always. That's when I'll be there, always. Not for just a day, not for just an hour, not for just a something, but always.
If you could give just one idea or mindset from China to the world, what would that be?
Reciprocity, giving and taking more or less equally or something. I use it because I heard it on a Chinese TV program. It was mentioned by a Chinese philosopher. It was a very good program with several philosophers discussing. And this one, I remember one Chinese man said, reciprocity. He thought it kind of summed up Chinese philosophy.
So
It
the
means,
idea is,
means being equal in giving and taking.
yeah, don't take more, don't take less.
Yeah.
Take, give equal, take
Yes,
equal.
yes, respect each other. Yeah,
That's a very good word.
yeah.
And
Not a word I use often, but it struck me that, yeah.
But do you have a favorite word or phrase in Chinese that maybe you use often or you just think it's meaningful in Chinese?
Okay, I'm going to say the phrase, but
Maybe I 我听不懂。
就是激死啊！
哦，Cantonese 了，那
Yes.
是。what is Cantonese?
Because I lived in Hong Kong, and my spoken Chinese is terrible. I'm terribly ashamed of it because it's a
没有。
mixture of Cantonese, Shanghai, and Putonghua.
Oh, that's
Then nobody understands me. So, but anyway, it's just a phrase I learned in Hong Kong. Oh,
but what do you say? Can say
It's
like what is
something very annoying.
啊？烦死了啊！烦死了 maybe. Is
Maybe,
it?
maybe.
No.
No?
气死人！
Say.
气死人 Oh, okay, I see.
So I'm sorry it's not more high-minded, but anyway,
no.
that's what-
Your previous answer was quite high-minded. This one can be very, it's life-based. What can you say? If you could invite two people, famous, alive or from history, to have a dinner with you, who would that be?
Johann Sebastian Bach.
Okay.
And then I've been trying hard to think of which other musician, maybe Beethoven then. Because when I was growing up in Shanghai, I learned to play the organ, the pipe organ, as well as the piano. And so Bach's organ music, to me, is the height of music. I would like to ask him, where did you get the inspiration for the B minor fugue. How come you could produce so much choral, beautiful choral music as well as organ music, which has, lifted the souls of millions of people for years? How could you think of something like that?
If someone watching us, be it young or not as young, from 0 to 100 years old, they're all young, um, quite unsure about their life path or they're going through difficult things, what do you want them to remember?
Importance of making peace in the world, because when I went to the Shanghai Zhongshui to give talks in the place where I had been interned as a child, that's what I used to say to the students there. I hope you will devote your lives to making peace. And, the world situation today is so terrible. It's more important than ever, I think, to make peace.
Thank you so much, Betty. Thank you for your time. I
Thank you
really
for asking
appreciate
me.
it. Thank you for being such a living legend and then still having time for us to share your stories. It really means a lot.